बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप सभी का. Hope all of you are doing well. Today I am super duper excited, extremely delightful. Why? Because I have the girl of the moment, Anika Sehgal, all India rank 18, scored more than 78 marks in the toughest AILET exam that we've seen in the recent past. We will dig as much information as possible so that you guys can benefit in your upcoming exam. So welcome, Anika. Many congratulations again.
Thank you so much, sir.
So Anika, just run me through the moment. Immediately when the results were out, what happened? When you checked the results, and please run the entire visual picture with us.
So basically, I read the notification, the circular that they uploaded on their website in the evening, that they were going to upload the results the same day. And I was constantly checking on the website, and there was no result there. So I decided that I will not check it. I'm going out for a walk. My parents and my brother, they were checking it constantly, and they informed me. So they came running to me, ki result aa gaya and stuff. But that is how I came to know about it. And of course, I did not believe that I've scored how much I did, but I saw it twice, so I was like, okay, it's true. That's what happened.
Amazing. So I'm sure now entire family must be celebrating since the past 2 days, right?
Yes, sir.
Of course. Has you totally earned it, Anika. So Anika, let's start with your journey. Why did you choose law? How did law happen? Let's start with that.
So basically, let's go back a few years. So like every other child, I was also not sure about what I want to study further in my life. So I started to research what all can I do and started cutting out options. This maybe, and eventually I discovered that law is something that I'm interested in and I can pursue it. Moreover, I like reading a lot, even novels and stuff like that. So that is a skill that will be helpful in this particular industry. So that is how I finally made my mind ki I'm going to prepare for this entrance exam, and law is the field that I eventually want to pursue in my life.
Awesome, amazing. So you've mentioned that you started from a long time. So do share what was your strategy, because when you were preparing, obviously you shared that you were interested in reading also. So you've been reading for a long period of time. So obviously that helped here in the preparation as well. Do run us through the entire strategy, right? Section wise you can do, or give an overall strategy as well as you deem fit.
Okay, so if I talk about the exam, or should I talk about the preparation?
The preparation part of it.
So the preparation part. So I basically started preparing a year and a half, I think, before the paper. So that is when I started preparing. And obviously in the initial days, I did not understand anything, what is happening, because it was very different from what I'm used to studying, right? We don't study things like these in school or anywhere else. So it's very different from. So at that time, I used to like only critical reasoning, logical reasoning, and mathematics, because those are the only subjects that I understood, right? And then legal is something I developed a lot of interest in once I started attending classes, because because of obvious reasons. It's actually really interesting. And current affairs is something that I was just postponing in the beginning, because I was like, there is still time before I need to start preparing for it. And current affairs I finally started in November last year, because I had to cover 1 year. So I had to cover from December to December. But I thought that I need 1 more month to prepare myself mentally, that I have to study this every single day now. So that I think really helped me, because if I look at my notes also that I made of current affairs, the first 2 months, the notes, they are close to useless, I should say, because they're very bad. I used to just open one website wherever I would find the news and just read from there and note it down. But eventually I realized that this is not going to help, because I have to find out all the details regarding the particular news. So even though I wasted like 2 months there, it did not affect me much because I had started much earlier. So it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, because there are like varied topics I have to read. Like I'm reading about one thing, and after 10 minutes I'm reading about a completely different thing and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it takes a little bit of time to adjust. So that is but eventually I got really used to it. And the last 2 months, most of my study was for current affairs, because the other part of my preparation was already done.
Right, right. So what about the other subjects? Say verbal ability. English was something which you were already doing in your
Yeah,
school.
so
So
reading comprehension is something that was not very big of a problem for me, because I was already in the habit of reading and all of that. So but for the other things, like other type of questions, I started preparing from it, like the theory portion first and then the practice part. So, and the vocabulary, it builds over time, and I still think the questions of vocabulary that were there in the examination, I still got them wrong. So you can never do enough for
that's
that.
that's right. So, Anika, what were your strong sections? We can say your strengths out of the five subjects, or I'm sure you will be doing very good in CLAT as well. But let's talk about AILET. When we're talking about AILET, among the three sections that were there, which was your strongest section?
So my logical reasoning was the strongest section. Even before I went for the exam, I had made up my mind regarding the same. Even when I gave the previous year AILET just for practice, the maximum that I scored was in logical, and even in AILET as well. This year also, my maximum score, even after whatever the paper was, is in logical, and that is what actually helped to boost my score, because I don't know, I just really like the subject. And it is also it does not bore you, right? It's
Absolutely.
yeah,
It
it's
was
very
my favorite
interesting.
subject as well, Anika. So I can totally understand.
Yeah.
So now, especially when analytical reasoning was also there. So if we talk about your entire journey, you've shared that you started 1 year back. I remember I have a sharp memory in this regard that I rarely was there any occasion where you were not there in the classes. So
Mhm.
you attended almost, if I'm not wrong, 100% classes. You were
I have
probably the only
attended
student.
100%.
Yes.
I have 100%
So
classes,
because
yes.
every time you were there, I remember this. So what are the advantages of that, right? Do share this with me. There must be some days when you would be feeling a little bored also, or not feeling like attending classes. How did you manage that with your school studies? Do share that with us.
So basically, about classes, what I think is that they provide you a structure to follow, because I am no expert in this field, like nobody is. We are just preparing, we're students, right? So there's a created structure like in classes. So we'll study this today, then that's the next day, and so on and so forth. So if I just attend the class, even if I don't feel like studying, I'll just attend the class and I'll study what has been taught in the class. That's it. And on the days when I'm feeling productive, I'll do other things also. I'll practice more, I'll do more tests. But that is something that I would ensure, that at least I attend the class and I do what is taught in the class the same day, or max to max the next day if I missed it for some reason or the other.
Right. Such honest answers. Very good. So, and Anika, add to that, with how do you manage your board prep or your school preparation with this?
So basically, for school preparation, 11th standard was not much of an issue for me, or because it was in the online mode basically, so it saves a lot of time that way also. And in 12th standard, of course, I have to go to school also. That takes up a lot of time, almost half of the day, or even a little bit more than that. But for that, I personally have taken a lot of leaves from school, and my school has been supportive in that. They have allowed me to not come to school and still be okay with it, as long as I'm doing good in the test. They are okay with it. And so basically, if I'm studying for, let's say, like 8 hours a day, I can study 1 hour for school and the rest for entrance, so it's not a big problem.
Awesome, awesome. I'm sure this advice, all the students, listening to this video will definitely follow, and I hope the school is also as supportive as yours was. Anika, do share, how was your performance in mocks? Let's run it through.
Hmm.
Earlier, 1 year back, then 9 months, 6 months to go, 3 months to
Okay.
go, 1 month
Hmm.
to 1 month to go. How were your performance throughout?
Okay, so I think the first mock that I gave was in November last year.
Yes.
Okay, so the first mock that I gave, it went really well. I don't know how, uh, but after, so I was really happy. I've just started and it's already very good. But after that, I used to get for the initial, I think till May of this year, May or June of this year, I used to get in 70s, 80s in my mocks. Then from June onwards, my score started improving in mocks, maybe because I completed a lot of syllabus by then, and my practice was already going well. So I started scoring 90, 100, in excess of 100 also in many mocks, even in the All India mocks that I have given. So I've given 3 All India mocks in your institute, and out of them, in 2, I have the first rank. So
In our institute.
yeah, 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 in our institute. So it started going well, and I've also taken then obviously mocks from different sources so that you know where you stand in different places,
Correct.
right? And it really, and previous year question papers obviously, so all of them combined together, they give you a good picture of where you stand. So I was pretty confident about being able to like qualify based on the based on the mock scores, and given the fact that I'm doing it from different places and the previous year papers also, and I'm getting good in all of them, so it means that I have the caliber that I can clear it. And that really helped me give the confidence while I was doing the paper, because the initial 5 minutes of my paper, out of the 90 total minutes, the first 5 minutes were for the OMR,
Right.
right? Then the last five, then next 5 minutes, I was just going through the paper because I was not understanding anything.
True.
Yeah,
Changing
and
pattern
then
was all of
the
that.
pattern was completely changed, and I thought that there is a printing mistake in my paper. All the questions are mixed up, so how do I start section right?
Right.
But then I saw that in the beginning they have given a box where they say
Very good.
the questions are mixed. And then when I started doing them, as soon as I started with the paper, the invigilator came, he sign karo and aapne question booklet pe nahi likha and all of that. So out of 90 minutes, for the first 15 minutes, I had done nothing
Uh,
in the paper, and it's a lot of time.
of course.
Out of 90, 15 is gone. I have 75 minutes left.
Right.
But then I decided ki,
Do you know
I
you
can.
got more than a mark per minute? Okay, 75 minutes, you got 78. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful score, of course.
uh,
So your mock story is absolutely inspiring, right? And I remember you sharing your scores as well. And, that's when I also realized that we have definitely, a great result on the card for sure. So Anika, अब आपको एक और क्वेश्चन मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि say for example, when you had wasted your 15 minutes, as you said that earlier, after your attempt, were you confident कि यार हाँ मेरा ऑल इंडिया रैंक 20 भी आ सकता है? अब सोचा था अभी आपने ऐसा?
no, so basically,
ऑल इंडिया अंडर 20, that is
no,
18.
I never thought that. So basically, based on how my mocks go and everything, I was expecting a very good score,
Right.
that I will get a very good score in the actual paper. But then when I gave the paper, I knew that I'm not going to get very good marks. Like you can see my marks, they are not the absolute best if you look at them without the relative comparison, right? So I thought that I will not clear the paper, and there is no chance that
Really?
I'm getting, yeah. I thought that there is no chance that I'm going to get a good rank. And I was so upset that I did not even check the provisional answer key. I did not attend any analysis sessions that were conducted. And I was from the next day I started preparing for CLAT, because that is now where my focus needs to be. And I decided that I will see the result when they come. And even that I did not see my family saw, because I was too tired of it. But yeah, but everybody was saying that the paper was difficult and everybody wasted time and this and that, but I in my mind thought that it is only me who found the paper lengthy and difficult and whose attempts and accuracy has gone down. Everybody else would have performed the way they were. So I thought that that will happen, but yeah, and that is what they say, the paper is same for everybody. If it's tough, it's tough. If it's easy, it's easy.
Absolutely, well said. So now I'm sure everyone watching this video would be learning a lot from whatever you are sharing. How has BYJU'S exam prep helped in your journey?
So
Please do share.
it has helped me a lot, of course, and I am a part of the first batch of 2023 students, so
Yes.
which is the longest running batch. So joined in the beginning itself, and even before that, if you have the data, you can check. I am enrolled in two batches of 2022 CLAT
Yes, you
also.
practiced lots of mocks for the 2022 batch as well.
2022 batch as
So
well,
I've
yes.
checked that as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I was a part of 2022 batches also, because when I joined, the batch for 2023 did not exist.
Hmm.
So that is when I joined, and then later on I shifted to the 2023 batch. So many of the topics I actually did twice with the same teachers, because I attended once back then and then I attended
Correct.
once again. So and when I used to be free in my during the lockdown in like 10th standard, I used to attend the free sessions that Nivedata ma'am would conduct on cases,
Hmm.
on different cases. So that just also helped in creating my interest, and it also helped me being in touch. And even when I started attending the first class, I already knew like all the teachers. That is how it felt.
Correct.
So yeah, that really helps. Plus obviously there are a lot of tests and classes, and I attended all of them. So yeah, it is
And
helped.
you did give lots of sectional tests as well. Yeah, if I specifically talk about general awareness also, so you were giving month-wise sectional tests as well, right? So how were they? How were the mocks? Do share about tests.
So, if I talk about tests specifically, if I talk about first topic wise test, let's say, so they help you identify the topics that you are good in or not. So, let's say I've attended a class on a particular topic, on let's say some English, some grammar class, and then I immediately after the class attend the test for the same. So, I know where I stand at that point of time. Then I will practice, I will do questions, I will do theory, then I will come back, I will do some other test.
Right.
Since there are a lot of tests that are available, I'll do some other tests, then I'll see, then I will do another test months or 2 months later. So that way it helps you identify where you stand, where you need work. Also it tells you something that you are not good at. Irrespective of how much I work on them, I'm not scoring good. So if I see in the question paper a question regarding the topic, and I see another passage or another question on some different topic, I immediately know which one to do and which one not to do.
Absolutely.
Right. So that I think has really helped me in this paper also, since my attempts were also not good. My time management also went for a toss. But in my mind, I was very clear about the topics, about the questions that I have to do and the questions that I have to leave. So I saw in the last two passages were left, and I had only 5 minutes, and two passages I had not even read. So looked at the questions. Then I saw three vocabulary questions or something. I immediately left that because I knew I was going to get that wrong.
Hmm.
So I did the other passage. I did the English portion of it. The logical was really lengthy, so I did two questions. Then I came back to the remaining passage. I had 2-3 minutes last के, तो उसमें I did only the logical part. I did not do English only. So because I know that my English I can speak English well, I can read, I can understand, but when it comes to questions, I don't know what happens to me. I am not able to solve them. So English has always, even if you look at my mocks, English has been the most uh, difficult for
I know, I
me.
know. So the same thing happened with me in my preparation as well. Although I did well in my schooling, but when the D-Day came, I scored the least in English, which was a surprise. But even I'm sure with this information, with the utmost honesty that you are answering, right? I'm sure the students will obviously benefit out of this. So, in case now it's the best platform for you to address all the students preparing for the year 2024, for the year 2025. What will be your advice, your tips, to them so that they can ace AILET as well?
So my basic advice is that you should not take anybody's advice completely, because everybody is different and different things work for different people. So I've also seen many videos on how to prepare, how to do this, how to do that, and I have seen that when I follow them completely, they do not work for me, because the person who is telling them according to their perspective, according to their strengths, their weaknesses. So for me, it might be easy to study, let's say in the morning, but I have to sleep early at night. For somebody, it is absolutely not possible to study in the morning. So even for subjects, let's say I can say that don't give more than 10 minutes to maths in the paper, because it's a small section, you can do a few questions and leave them. I personally give 20 minutes to maths in
She's
my
talking
paper.
about CLAT, guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
this I'm talking about CLAT,
Yeah.
to maths, because that works for me, and I am able to do other sections quickly because my reading speed is very good. But let's say there is some other person whose reading is not that good, and or something like that, so they may need a different schedule than me.
Very good.
So I would suggest that if you have time, you should try out different strategies that you think should work, and then finalize on what works for you, and then stick to it. Don't keep on changing it once you have decided on it. So that will be my advice.
Very good, very good. And Anika, I'm super duper happy listening all these words coming out from you. I remember sharing all of this, right? Have your own strategy, आपकी खुद का ये सब करना, and this coming out from you absolutely is every ounce of energy, being fruitful and worthy. So well done, Anika. Absolutely wonderful. This entire conversation was. I'm sure everyone watching this would be benefiting immensely from your journey, from your honesty with which you have shared. You've shared that reading is something which you have done for a long period of time. You joined us as early as possible, so you were the first student to join us in the 2023 batch, so that gave you an advantage as well. Even when you joined, you started doing questions which were made for the 2022 batch, so you were already practicing a lot, gave lots and lots of mock tests, and I have no doubt in my mind that you will ace CLAT with flying colors, as well as I've shared multiple times with you, right, personally as well. So all the very best for CLAT. Many thanks for joining us and sharing all of your knowledge and expertise with us. Wishing you all the very best in the future. We are always there, just a phone call away. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. So this was Anika. We will meet again, in another such an important video wherein we'll be sharing, asking tips from our toppers. So do make sure that you hit the like button, and if you've not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe. Do comment and congratulate Anika, because what she has achieved is absolutely tremendous. See you all in the upcoming sessions. Thank you.